Deleted websites the internet tried to hide. Pay or we eat him.com. No, I'm gonna eat Pippa. No! Criminal scum.
From a website that held an animal hostage to a man who ran illegal medical experiments on people and live streamed it, these are deleted websites the internet tried to hide. We'll start with the least to the most shocking. The goal, guys, is 2.5 million subscribers by the end of 2026, so it would mean the world if you subscribe, and I will do the best that I can to put out the best videos for you. I'm Visual Venture, and you are awesome. AscendanceBiomed.com. This website promised something people thought was impossible. It claimed it could cure deadly diseases at very low cost, but the medical community thought it was a threat to public health, so they tried to shut it down before people risked their lives for these miracle cures. But taking it down wasn't going to be easy. The site was created by Aaron Trawick. He was the CEO of a startup called Ascendance Biomedical. Aaron said his company could create cheap cures for incurable illnesses like cancer, and he was going to do it using gene therapy. Basically,
didn't we already find the cure for cancer anyway? Didn't they shoot that guy in the head?
Gene therapy is a way to treat disease by changing a person's DNA.
In gene therapy, doctors are basically hacking the DNA of a living human. Using genetically engineered retroviruses called vectors, scientists infect human cells.
Approved gene therapy could cost as much as $850,000. Aaron claimed he could do it for under $10,000. All people had to do was visit AscendanceBiomed.com and join a waitlist. For a lot of people with life-threatening illnesses, it sounded like a dream come true. But once people looked closer, they saw the red flags. For starters, Aaron had no medical training. All his treatments were
No, I trust him. He probably talked to aliens to figure it out.
Not approved by the FDA, so there was no proof they were safe. But Aaron didn't seem to want FDA approval. He once said he wanted to create medicine in a way that wouldn't require him to butt up against the FDA's walls, but instead walk around them. He only wanted to prove his treatments worked so he could sell them. To do that, he needed someone willing to be the test subject. That person was a man named Tristan Roberts. Tristan was living with HIV. He came across the Ascendance Biomed website. He listened to Aaron's promises and he believed them. So Tristan signed up to become the first test subject. When the day came, he showed up for his treatment. Aaron streamed the entire process on Facebook Live.
It was on Vice.
We do not advise that anyone watching this video do what is about to be done here.
People were fascinated. The video was viewed more than 20,000 times. At that point, Ascendance Biomedical was no longer just a website. It was running a public medical experiment. Doctors and scientists reacted immediately. They warned that unapproved gene therapy could make things worse. It could even be fatal. They began pushing to shut the website and the company down. Meanwhile, the internet was waiting to see if the treatment cured Tristan. If it did, thousands would probably sign up. Weeks later, Tristan took a blood test. The result was not what he wanted.
The first round of Tristan's gene therapy didn't work, but instead of going back on his FDA-approved meds, Tristan flew to Jacksonville, Florida to try a modified dose.
The treatment failed. Tristan still had HIV. But Aaron treated the failed experiment as a joke. He told Tristan, "At least we didn't kill you." Then he moved.
Who says that to an HIV patient, bro? Yeah, at least you didn't die, little bro.
Moved on to the next public experiment. By February 2018, Aaron pulled another stunt, this time at a biohacking convention in Texas. He introduced himself on stage.
So we are Ascendance Biomedical. My name is Aaron Trawick, CEO, Andrea Sturmer, lead researcher.
Then Aaron claimed he had herpes. In front of a live audience, he treated himself with an experimental treatment.
He believes in what he's doing, at least enough to test another gene therapy, this one for herpes, on himself at a biohacking conference.
Aaron's stunt made headlines. More people discovered his website.
How do you instantly show that you're cured of herpes? Doesn't herpes like live in your spine and then it comes out like when it gets triggered through environmental effects? Is there like a test for like positive herpes and shit?
and paid
show your
$35
spine?
to
Yeah, I
join
guess
a
so.
waiting list for Ascendance's unregulated therapies.
Does
That
everyone have
alarmed the
herpes?
medical
No,
community.
no.
Every new sign-up meant more lives at risk. The FDA issued a warning. The sale of these products is against the law. FDA is concerned about the safety risks involved. Scientists continued to speak out. Medical experts warned the public. The pressure kept building, but the website was still online, and people could still sign up. Then suddenly, tragedy struck. Inside the company, problems were building. Aaron made financial promises to his team, but he did not keep them. That caused tension within the team. Some staff quit, others were forced out.
Gabriel, who served as our lab manager, and Justin, who served as the laboratory technician, have been effectively kicked out of the lab space, and the locks have been changed.
Ascendance Biomedical was already under pressure from regulators and scientists. Now it was falling apart from the inside.
I will say the medical industry is a mafia, but like I don't think this is the way to respond either. Picking up HIV patients and being like, well, at least we didn't kill your ass.
Then one event finally destroyed everything. In April
just not very
2018,
credible,
Aaron
huh?
visited a spa in Washington, D.C. He stayed longer than he was supposed to. When staff checked on him, they found him unresponsive.
Oh,
28-year-old
Jesus.
CEO of a controversial medical startup was found dead in a Washington, D.C. flotation therapy tank, according to authorities.
They killed him. The FDA killed him, guys. It's over.
He was ruled an accidental drowning. Because of all the controversy around
It's
Ascendance
over.
Biomed, many people
that was the
questioned that
FDA. They
conclusion.
knew-
Some
knew.
claimed he faked his own death. Others believed he was taken out by pharmaceutical
Yeah,
companies.
it's
But
the
there was no
FDA.
evidence to
Big
support those
Pharma
claims.
got him.
Without Aaron, Ascendance Biomedical could not survive. Doctors and scientists wanted the company and website shut down, and it finally was. Everyone was relieved. At first, Ascendance Biomed sounded like a dream. Cheap cures, easy solutions. But like most things online, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. And the same pattern shows up
Well,
in
there's also like incentives for people to have it a certain price. I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. However, there are millions and billions of dollars in certain industries, and their incentive is to keep a hold on the price being higher than what some people offer. And if you're not part of it, then it's over for you. The diamond industry is actually a really good example of that. The diamonds aren't actually worth X amount. It's worth... If you try to sell it for lower, you're not going to be able to sell them. They're going to take you out.
a lot of places you wouldn't expect, like your phone bill. You can sign up for what looks like a cheap plan only to find out the actual price is way higher. But Mint Mobile, the sponsor of today's video, said, we're not doing that. They're a company that rebuilt wireless around one simple idea. Tell people the actual price, and you don't have to sacrifice quality to get it, because every plan includes unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network, plus free calling to Mexico, Canada, and the UK. And if you guys think that switching carriers is too much work, it's actually very simple. You can sign up and activate with eSIM in just a couple.
You know what? This might actually be a pretty goated ad. Anything to not deal with fucking T-Mobile or Verizon. I'm not even capping. Not sponsored, by the way. This is actually goated ad.
Minutes from the comfort of your couch. And you can keep your same phone number and all your existing contacts when you switch. So how is this all possible? Mint Mobile brought the bulk buying concept to wireless. Basically, the more months you buy up front, the more you save. Mint lets you choose the data amount that's right for you, 5, 15, 20, or unlimited gigabytes. So you're not overpaying for some one-size-fits-all plan that doesn't fit you. And if you have any issues, you get Mint Mobile's customer support, which 96% of users are actually happy with, and a 7-day unconditional money-back guarantee. My friends, use my QR code or link below to stop overpaying for wireless, just because that's how it's always been. With premium plans starting at just $15 a month, Mint helps you break the traditional wireless cycle. This next chapter is about someone who threatened to take a life unless the internet paid them enough money. SaveToby.com. This website asked for donations, but if people didn't pay, something would lose its life. Once people understood what was going on, the reaction was instant. Find a way to shut it down. The Save Toby website appeared around 2005, and anyone who clicked it was met with a strange story. Toby was a rabbit. The website's creator claimed he found him outside his home. He took the rabbit in and nursed it back to health. Up to that point, the story sounded heartwarming. Then it took a dark turn. The creator said caring for the rabbit was expensive. He couldn't afford it on his own, so he wanted strange...
Okay, so So give it up to a shelter then, you stupid bitch.
Online to contribute money for Toby's upkeep. The internet had until June 30th, 2005 to donate $50,000. If
$50,000 for a fucking rabbit?
the money did not
Bro,
come
you
in,
don't need
the
that much
creator
for a
would
rabbit.
end Toby. Toby would become food. To prove this was serious, the website had a recipe section. Visitors could also buy
That's
merchandise.
crazy.
For example, a baseball cap with a rabbit silhouette.
That's
Every
so
purchase was
fucked.
framed as
You're
a way
a
to
piece of
save
shit.
Toby. Crazy as it sounds, it worked. People started donating.
because people care about animals, I know.
But by the
Sad.
end of the story, many of them would regret that decision. This happened in 2005 when social media didn't really exist, so the story went viral the old-fashioned way. Thousands shared the link through email. News networks picked up the story. Suddenly, Save Toby was national news. A reporter for NBC reached out to the website creator for an interview. The creator agreed to talk, but only if their identity stayed hidden. During the
Yeah.
interview, a reporter asked the obvious question.
Kidnap
Was
that
this a
fucking
joke?
rabbit,
The creator
bro.
said no. Now people believed Toby was in real danger, so they kept donating to save him. After a few months, the
That's
site
so
reportedly
sad, bro.
raised $24,000 out of the $50,000
Dude, not enough.
target.
Gonna
But
eat
not
'em,
everyone
bros.
saw it as a rescue mission. Animal rights groups called it emotional blackmail. They said the
agree.
creators were weaponizing people.
Yeah, you could literally just give them up if you don't have the money. It's just a fucking ploy to like fucking milk people's money.
Love for animals. They were also worried about what would come next. If this worked, others would copy it. More animals could be used the same way. The only way to stop that was to shut the Save Toby site down, and they needed to do it before the $50,000 goal was reached, or else other people would start to do the same
It had a PayPal donation box. Why don't they just report them to PayPal too?
twisted thing. First, they went after the
something.
money.
Visa?
Animal rights groups flooded PayPal with complaints. Like most
Yeah.
companies, PayPal didn't
It's the
want
right
the
way to
bad
do
press,
it.
so they shut down the Save Toby donation link. Without it, no one could donate. And just like that, the site
Ban
lost
his
its main
account.
source of income. But the job wasn't finished because the website was still up. Toby's countdown was still ticking. So the animal rights groups moved to the next step. They pressured GoDaddy to take the site offline. GoDaddy refused, saying there's nothing illegal about the website. That response exposed a deeper problem. The Save Toby
What?
website felt wrong, but was it actually illegal? Turns out it did not break any laws at the time. As the deadline got closer, people sent death
That's
threats to the
retarded.
website's creator. But no one knew who
But then
the
you could do the same thing with like a cow or a pig. It's fucking stupid.
creator was, so no one could actually reach them. Eventually, June 30th arrived. No one really knows if they ever hit the $50,000 goal. But one thing was clear, Toby was not eaten. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. But that relief didn't last long. The site was updated with a new threat. This time, the creator published a book titled Only You Have the Power to Save Toby. And it came with another ultimatum. Unless 100,000 copies of the book were sold before Thanksgiving 2006, Toby would be the holiday meal. This time, fewer
my
people
God,
believed
man.
them. The book barely sold. Thanksgiving came and went. Nothing happened to Toby. Then
Yeah,
in
it was a
December that
bait.
year, the Save
Don't
Toby
eat the
domain
kitty.
was
I'm
sold.
not.
Those
He's a
who
good
bought the
boy.
domain made an announcement. Toby has finally been saved. Board.com has
cringe,
taken
man.
over the SaveToby.com website and saved Toby from certain death. After that, the site was deleted. Animal rights groups were relieved. They indirectly contributed to bringing down the site, and they hoped no one would try this again. The story should have ended there, but it didn't. Later, someone came
Someone should
forward
do
with a
this with, like,
strange
a kid
claim.
and
They
be
said
like,
they saw
"Guys,
a
I'm not
disclaimer
kidding. I'm
at the
gonna eat
bottom
my
of
child."
SaveToby.com before it was taken
illegal.
down. It read, "Note, this is a joke. Please only donate to buy gear to help support SaveToby.com." Not everybody
God.
saw it, but if it was really
Oh
there,
my
it
God,
means the
Kitty.
threat was never real. However, the PayPal link on the site was real. To this day, no one knows who was behind SaveToby.com. They took the money
drooling on
and
me.
vanished, and no one has ever been able to track them down. This next website was one of the
That's kind of insane they couldn't track him down. Considering they had a PayPal link, Bitcoin, I don't think they had Bitcoin in 2005. I think Bitcoin started in like 2007 or 8, didn't it?
largest criminal databases ever built.
I don't know.
WeLeakInfo.com.
Uh-oh.
WeLeakInfo.com was the literal definition of hiding in plain sight. It was good and evil wrapped up in one website. The site called itself the world's fastest and largest data breach search engine. Users could type in their email
Wait,
address.
I've
Within
done that
seconds, it
one.
would tell them if their data was exposed in a data breach. Every
Oh no, I've used this website, I'm pretty sure.
year,
When I
millions
was a
of
kid,
people have their
been around for
passwords,
a long
credit card
time.
details, and other data leaked. And sometimes they don't even realize it happened. WeLeakInfo.com made it easy to check checked. It felt like a genuine public service. But that was only half the story, because the same website was quietly doing the exact opposite. It was selling stolen data to cybercriminals. The people running WeLeakInfo visited dark web forums and hacker marketplaces. They gathered every stolen password, credit card detail, and leaked info they could find. And they put it all in one searchable database. For a small fee, criminals could search through billions of stolen records.
You can basically look through about 10,000 data breaches. There's about 12 billion indexed records, names, email addresses, phone numbers.
Criminals could use the data for crimes like identity theft, and access was so cheap.
Nowadays, access as of right now is about $2, so 24 hours for $2.
An ordinary person could use this website to check if their own data was at risk. At the same time, a criminal could use it to find someone's personal information, then hunt for their target. By 2019, law enforcement started to connect the dots. Police in the UK were tracking cybercriminals. During their investigation, one website kept appearing, WeLeakInfo. That raised alarms. Investigators realized the site was not just connected to these cybercrimes, it was the center of them. The FBI needed to take down the site. To do that, the FBI teamed up with police in several countries.
This website?
We're talking about Netherlands,
honest.
Germany, UK, US, and Ireland.
Damn, they all piled
You're
on
up
them,
against some really hardcore
I did for sure.
people when it comes to cyber.
I was a kid,
Authorities traced the site's payments and servers. The trail led to 2 homes in Europe. In January 2020, both locations were raided. Police arrested 2 young men believed to be running the site. They also seized the servers. Inside was a database of 12 billion stolen records of everyday people. Law enforcement deleted the website.
It looks like a warrant is all it takes to get your domain name seized.
Yeah.
And for it to be in custody of the federal government.
Anyone who tried to visit the site saw one simple message. This domain has been seized. For many victims, that felt like justice. But shutting down the site was only the beginning. When authorities seized the servers, they found more than stolen data. They found customer records that included a list of people who paid for access to the stolen data. These buyers were probably cyber criminals. Police began arresting people who purchased people's stolen data from the website. The truth was now impossible to ignore. A website that claimed to protect people was actually fueling the worst cybercrimes online. This next chapter is about an app that thousands of men desperately wanted destroyed.
And honestly, that's kind of a double whammy. If you know that people are like looking up their looking up their emails, those are the people that have active emails, so it probably puts them on a higher list, like a priority.
Lulu Vise. The people who use this app did everything to keep it secret. They knew the content would make people angry, but the secret did not last. Once it got out, thousands of angry men tried to erase the app from the internet. The app was called Lulu Vise. It launched in 2011. It was a private space where women could give recommendations and reviews on guys they dated. It worked like a review site.
Oh no. Oh no!
But instead of restaurants or hotels, the products—
This is before that tea website, whatever the fuck, right?
—were real men. So if a woman wanted to date a guy, she could look him up.
You can go on.
No, it ain't. It's not fucking fair.
Search for
People
a guy
can
you're
make
dating,
up shit,
and
man.
check out what his exes or girlfriends have said about him.
It sounded interesting for women in theory, but the way it worked was a huge problem.
Most guys don't even know they're on Lulu because the profiles are automatically culled from a woman's Facebook friend.
Women connected Lulu Vise to their Facebook account. Then the app scanned their friends list, and it pulled the names and photos of every male contact.
You don't consent to it. People can make up shit. Like, this is terrible.
Men were added to the Lulu Vise database. They were not
Scorned
asked
ex
for
gonna
permission.
make up
Once
about
a
how
man
she
appeared
fucking
on
got
the app,
assaulted by
women
you or
could rate
something.
him. They scored him on
Ugh.
looks, manners, and intimacy skills. That score was displayed under—
That's so cringe. Ew.
His photo. Women could also
Intimacy
attach
skills.
hashtags to a
This sex was really good. Oh my god.
man's profile.
That's like a no-no. Obsessed with his mom. See, that's a definite no.
Eventually, the app rebranded.
That's so cringe. Imagine if it was dudes saying that about like girls and they made like an entire news article about this. This is an entire like news section.
As Lulu, and it became even more popular. More women joined. The database grew to have the private information of thousands of men. But somehow, Lulu still stayed under the radar. The men being raided had no idea the app even existed, but a secret that big couldn't stay hidden forever. The truth came out in early 2012. A journalist discovered that Lulu was pulling men's data from Facebook. He published an article. Lulu Vise's date rating site shows where your Facebook data can end up. After that, men started finding out.
First time time I heard of Lulu, the Lulu app, my roommate told me, and she was like, oh, you know, you're on this app called Lulu.
In one case, a man found out during his date. His date opened the app on her phone and read his bad reviews to him. Many men tried to download the app. They wanted to see what was being said about them, but they couldn't get access. If the app detected a male user, it blocked them.
They'd get a message.
That's very bigoted.
Saying, hey,
that's not very nice.
Men couldn't see their ratings.
What
they
if
couldn't
I'm a
respond.
tomboy
they
and I
couldn't
have a
remove
male
themselves.
algorithm?
The lack of control drove the backlash.
Weird.
So the men started an online campaign. Some wrote blog posts. Others
so
complained
weird.
on podcasts.
No, could be a bitter ex. This is a bitter ex.
One man even launched a petition calling it cyberbullying. Despite the criticism, Lulu kept growing. It expanded in
Again, if it was the shoe was on the other foot and the genders were reversed, this would be a completely different story.
to new countries. That decision turned out to be a fatal mistake. They underestimated how men in other parts of the world would respond. Lulu first expanded into Brazil. In its first week alone, the app received 5 million visits. But that rapid growth created a new crisis. A Brazilian law student named Filippo found out he was being raided. Instead of just complaining, he filed a lawsuit. The Brazilian government launched an investigation. Then in December 2013, the founder of Lulu received a call.
Unfortunately, on Christmas Eve of 2013, I got a phone call, and it was a request to remove ourselves from the store.
Wow, that's so, like, mean. These fucking nasty hags, dude. Nasty, nasty girls, man.
The app was
Nasty.
kicked off the Brazilian App Store. That triggered a chain
Brazil.
reaction. Lulu began facing legal issues in other countries. Even Facebook demanded that Lulu stop pulling user data from its platform. Critics pushed harder from every direction. They wanted the app gone. By March 2014, Lulu was desperate to save the company. They made a major change. Men were now allowed to join the app. The founders tried to present it as progress.
You build an experience for women, and maybe you don't have to block men and gate them from coming in.
But this change destroyed what made the app appealing in the first place. Women could no longer secretly review men. And without the secrecy, thousands of users quit. Lulu never recovered. In 2016,
Oh, no. You can't just leave an anonymous review and have no consequences tied to it? Aw, damn. That just sucks, huh?
the app was sold. The new owners removed the rating system and then rebuilt Lulu as a normal dating app. For many of the men who fought against it, this was a victory. After years of pressure, the app they wanted gone was finally deleted. This next chapter is about a woman who became one of the most hated people online. SaveKaryn.com.
Nah, I'm not
This
saving
website
no Karyn.
made one
Hell
simple
no.
request. Help Karyn pay off her credit card debt. It sounded like Karyn needed money because of some kind of tragedy. But when people found out how she got into debt, their sympathy disappeared. Instead of donating, they wanted to destroy the website before anyone gave Karyn any money. The site belonged to Karyn Bosnack. In 2002, she had a steady job in New York City. But she also had something else, a huge spending problem. For years, Karyn spent more than she earned.
I just always assumed that I could afford things.
And we glorified these people. This is what, like in the 90s or 2000s, it looks like? Chat, we I think there's just the internet and it's more exposed.
Things like shoes,
this is what, like 20 years ago?
Gucci purses and Prada shoes and all those.
Dude, bitch, I want nice things too. You gotta work for that shit.
You're indulging yourself.
Absolutely.
When her bank
Go to
account
Caleb,
dried
man.
up, she turned to credit cards. By the time she noticed, she owed more than $20,000. That was a lot
That was $20,000 in like 2000.
of money, especially in 2002. At first, she believed she could handle it. Then Karyn lost her job. Now she had no income and a mountain
Boo fucking who? Go to McDonald's.
of debt. The obvious solution was to find a new job and slowly pay it back. But Karyn saw an easy way out. Little did she know.
And this was in 2002, bitch. What the fuck? Go to McDonald's. Put the
that
fries in the
easy
bag.
way would make her one of the most hated people online. Karyn came across an interesting flyer.
About 6 months ago, my roommate was at a grocery store and saw a sign that said, you know, I need $7,000. If you can help me, let me know. I just need $7 grand. And I'm like, you know, that's not a bad idea.
She decided to take that concept and use it for herself. Karyn built a website called SaveKaryn.com. She wrote this on the homepage. I have this huge credit card debt and I need $20,000 to pay it off. So if you have an extra buck or two, please send it my way. She even broke down the math. All I need is $1 from 20,000 people, or $2 from 10,000 people, or $5 from 4,000 people. There was also a live tracker, so users could watch the debt shrink with
At least she's not lying. You know what? At least she's honest.
Every donation. Karyn shared the link with friends. Friends passed it along. Blogs. So much attention that it reached
If you
national
give her money,
television.
you're a
The producers
retard.
of the Today Show
Sorry.
invited Karyn on. During the interview,
People
she
fell
spoke
for it?
about the hate
That's the funny part. They didn't fall for anything. They literally just gave her free fucking money. For nothing.
she was receiving.
Not
I mean,
charity.
in a way, it hurts my feelings because I think my website is very fun. It's lighthearted, and some people are mean and they put like really slanderous comments on there.
In retrospect, maybe going on TV was a mistake. Millions of people visited her site almost overnight. The
And then a lot of people probably gave her money too, because she's fairly pretty.
reaction was divided.
first
Some
e-beggar.
appreciated Karyn's honesty. She didn't lie about how she got into debt. Others saw her request as pure entitlement. They felt Karyn was asking strangers to
Sure.
fix her own mistakes, and they were
Yep.
not going to allow it. The backlash started with emails. People sent insults and threats, but critics didn't stop there. They wanted to stop the donations completely, so they came up with a new plan. They created counter websites. One was called don'tsavekaryn.com. Another was savekaryn.not.com. These counter websites directed potential donors to established charities such as the Red Cross. They said if people wanted to help, they should support real causes, not someone who overspent on luxury items. One comment read, "Why should anyone save this girl from her own debt? I am disabled and can't afford anything and receive no help from anyone." The pressure kept mounting. People warned her to delete the site or else. It looked like Karyn might give up, but instead she made a move that changed the situation again. She made a list of all the designer shoes, bags, and
That is
items she owned. Those were the
crazy.
items that got her into credit card debt in the first place. Then she started selling them on eBay. Now visitors had another option. Instead of donating, they could buy something. But her critics still weren't satisfied. They wanted her to get a job and work to pay off
That's just honestly such a skill issue on these people's parts. Like, you are just a fucking idiot.
the debt. They launched a campaign to get her removed from eBay. But despite the backlash, some people bought Karyn's stuff. People also
I'm
donated
sure.
to her. Over 20 weeks, strangers sent her more than $13,000. Combined with the eBay sales, it was enough. Karyn reached her goal. She paid off the
I
entire
guess.
$20,000 credit card debt. After that, Karyn's
I don't know what the rules are for GoFundMe. I don't think you can just start one just because you're in credit card debt. I think it has to be like for a decent enough reason.
haters got what they wanted. The Save Karyn website went offline. It seemed they got rid of her, but she popped up again. A year later, Karyn wrote a book, Save Karyn, One Shopaholic's Journey to Debt and Back. It was a bestseller. Then came one final twist. Karyn donated $13,000 of her book earnings to charity. She chose that figure because $13,000 was the exact amount strangers donated through SaveKaryn.com. This next chapter is about a website
That's not
so
good enough,
powerful
man.
that it took Hollywood and the FBI working together to bring it down. Megaupload.com.
Ooh, I remember this shit. Megaupload.
Many websites in this
Kim.com?
video were deleted because ordinary people hated them. Megaupload was different. Ordinary people loved it. The ones who wanted it gone were the people high up in Hollywood, and they had the money and power to make it disappear. Megaupload launched in 2005. The idea was simple.
It allowed anyone to upload extremely large files. These uploads could be paused and resumed, and each download would generate a unique link that could be shared with your friend.
Users could upload a file, get a link, and share it with anyone. The file sharing technology
remember
wasn't
this,
the
dude.
problem. The problem was the files people were sharing. Users uploaded pirated movies, music, and paid
Yep.
software. These were files that were
And
meant to be sold,
games.
not given away. The people running the site saw this happen. They chose not to stop it. Instead, they made it worse. They introduced a rewards program.
Members were also eligible for Megaupload's rewards program, which rewards the top downloaders with months of premium membership and small sums of money.
Users were rewarded based on how many times others downloaded their files. That pushed users to upload content
That's
people
crazy.
wanted badly. And the files people wanted most were Hollywood movies and expensive software. By 2011, Megaupload was the
Yep, getting Photoshop 5 or 6. No, wait. Maybe I got Photoshop 4 from Megaupload. I think it was Photoshop 4. Maybe 5. I don't remember.
largest file sharing site in the world.
At one point, Megaupload was the 13th most visited website with over
Yeah, it
1
was a
billion
fucking big
unique
deal.
visitors per year. accounting for nearly 4% of the total traffic across the entire internet.
At that point, there was
crazy.
no doubt. The platform was full of stolen content. Even the executives knew it. In a private chat, one wrote, "We have a funny business, modern day pirates." Another replied, "We're not pirates. We're just providing shipping services to pirates." They treated it like a joke. Hollywood saw it as a crime. Each year, Hollywood spends billions producing movies. They earn that money back when people pay to watch those movies. But Megaupload was giving those films away for free. That meant film studios were losing money. Hollywood executives decided the site had to go. First, their lawyers sent takedown notices. They demanded that Megaupload remove their content. Megaupload did not want to comply, but instead of refusing, they pretended to cooperate. Megaupload claimed they couldn't identify which movies belonged to the studios. So they built a tool for studios to report illegal links.
This tool allowed these companies to paste a link that they thought was infringing, and Megaupload would instantly delete it without any further verification.
Studios reported links, Megaupload deleted them. The studios thought they were winning, but they were being fooled. Megaupload deleted the links that were reported, but they left the actual movies on their
These guys are class A trolls.
servers. So the same movie could still be downloaded through dozens of other links. When the studios realized the trick, they went to the government.
My God.
Chairman of the MPAA, Chris Dodd, began seriously pushing the US government to do something about foreign piracy, including his support of the Stop Online Piracy Act.
They wanted a law that would remove piracy sites like Megaupload from search engines. They also wanted to cut off the ad money that helped those sites survive. The founder of Megaupload was a man named Kim.com. He did not want those laws to pass, so he tried to garner public support. In December 2011, he released the Megaupload song. It was a music video featuring celebrities praising the site.
Kanye West and fucking Diddy.
So this is Kanye. I like Megaupload.
Endorsed by celebrities.
Hey, I'm Alicia Keys, and I use Megaupload.
The PR campaign worked. People
my
spoke out against laws that targeted sites like Megaupload, and those laws shutting it down did not pass. It seemed like another victory for Megaupload, but behind the scenes, a bigger move was already in progress. Hollywood studios reached out to the FBI. Piracy was already a federal crime in the United States. Megaupload knew that, so they had a cover story. They called themselves an online storage and file delivery service. They claimed they could not control what users uploaded. It was a convenient excuse. There was only one way to shut Megaupload down. The authorities needed to prove that the site was deliberately profiting off of stolen content. So FBI agents spent years gathering evidence. They monitored Megaupload executives' email. By January 2012, they had enough. They could prove that the site was designed to profit from piracy. Agents moved in.
Well, yeah, I mean, they did. Their membership was literally encouraging people to keep uploading and downloading.
Down the site for allegedly violating piracy
I'm not gonna
laws,
deny it.
costing copyright holders more than
piracy.
$500
This is
million
funny.
US dollars in lost revenue.
Shutting
That's
down
a
the
lot.
site was step
They're not
one.
happy.
They also went after the people behind it. Kim.com was living in New Zealand. Police raided his mansion and arrested him.
I remember that was a big deal. Yeah.
Arrested on warrants relating to breach of copyright offences in the United States, money laundering, racketeering.
After his arrest, Kim.com didn't stay quiet. Out on bail, he went straight to the media.
Yeah, it was 2012. I remember that. It was a big deal.
Is today the fact that they used the NSA and PRISM to spy on the massive raid that happened here. You know,
He accused powerful people of trying to destroy him and his site.
this is a power play. These are people who are high up in the executive who said, we are going to use every weapon in our arsenal to destroy this guy.
A corner of the internet rallied behind him. A group of hackers even tried to retaliate.
Did you know he's
Hackers
German?
have launched
I didn't know
cyber
that.
attacks in retaliation for the arrest, causing websites, including those of the US Justice Department and FBI, to be shut down.
But the sympathy and cyber attacks changed nothing. Hollywood wanted Megaupload deleted, and they succeeded. Megaupload was gone for good. These websites were deleted, but not before they ruined people's lives. My friends, if something online requires your money, your data, or your trust, slow down before you give it. Visual venture.
Nah, I'm gonna keep giving it to him.
Wait, before you guys go, I have a video about the internet's darkest websites. We talk about a website streaming live footage from 73,000 home cameras, a website that can track down anyone's location with a single Instagram photo, and a website where people hired real hitmen. Click right here to watch it. Love you guys. Peace.
Yeah. That was a good video. Kim.com is like a throwback for sure. Go check them out. Take my money? Yeah, take my data. I don't need it anyway.